Friends, good happy Friday morning. Welcome back. So, I want to talk about some things with you guys here. About according to Iraq's constitution, that's what this is going to be based on. What makes sense for them, because I'm hearing lots of different thoughts and theories about this from different content creators on the internet. So, let's look at this from the angle of the constitution so that this is not content creator guru opinion based, okay? What just makes sense in this? Does it make sense for them to change the rate while the government's being formed or after the government's fully completed? So I've been doing on my private forum of Substack, I've been putting different things out on this, okay? But I think it's, again, because there's different content creators saying different things about this. Some are saying that the rate could change as soon as this coming weekend. And then there's other ones saying that for the rate to change, we might have to wait until the government's formed, pushing the rate change out to more of a Q1 scenario of next year. Let's talk about that. Let's break this down. Who was dissolved, or what divisions of the government were dissolved back when they voted as of November 11th? Well, again, we're going down the road of the Constitution in this. The only divisions of the government that were dissolved, meaning shut down, disabled, was only Iraq's parliament. When they voted on November 11th, they only voted for new parliamentary officials. Okay? So again, only parliament was dissolved. For example, the prime minister and his cabinet still exist. They actually had and held a Council of Ministers calm cabinet session this past Tuesday before Christmas, okay? So again, the only department that was dissolved was Parliament. Okay. Now remember, I want you to, on a basic level, Parliament has a lot of steps and tasks they have to do after the rate changes. So wouldn't it make sense for them once that they have right now within Parliament, who was dissolved back when they voted on November 11th. Okay, and by the way, this whole election period, or the formation period of the new government, which gives them a constitutional period of 90 days, it goes 15, 30, 15, 30. Let's break that down. The first 15 is, again, according to the Constitution, they get 15 days to complete the formation of the new parliament. That started on December 14th. Then first parliament session where they're going to try and vote in the three remaining positions, which would be the Speaker of Parliament or the President of Parliament and his two lower level deputies. Okay, they're going to try to complete that and swear them in on this next Monday, December 29th session of Parliament. Okay, now, because they were dissolved, they have 15 days per the Constitution to get those three positions into Parliament and sworn in, which would, again, go from December 14th to December 29th, and that next session is next Monday, December 29th. Once they have those three positions filled and sworn in, the Constitution allows them to resume having and holding sessions of Parliament. So I want you to think about this. They have a lot of stuff they have to do. They have 150 plus laws. They have the 2026 budget. They have a lot of things to resume forward that they have to do after the rate changes. So question for you, wouldn't it make sense for them to change the rate first and have the rate change done and completed so that if Monday the 29th, Parliament is 100% complete and sworn in, they could resume having and holding sessions, getting critical steps and tasks done? Because after all, I've been bringing a lot of critical data and information forward, showing you they're going international next year. So if they're going to go international again next year, for them to really implement trade 100%, they need a convertible tradable currency. In order for them to implement the banking reforms 100%, they need the rate to change, convertible currency on that. Okay, in order for them to do everything at 100%, get Parliament, get the 150 plus laws done, in order for them to join the world trade, they need that convertible currency. So again, technically, again, guys, once the Parliament is the only aspect of the government that was dissolved. So once if Parliament's 100% done and sworn in, on this next session of Parliament next Monday, December 29th, they can resume having and holding Parliament sessions like it says right here on the screen. And I'm going to read this to you. Let's read this. Does Iraq's Parliament have to wait to resume holding sessions until Parliament is completed or until the entire government is approved and sworn in? The answer is no. Iraq's Parliament does not have to wait for the entire government to be approved and sworn in holding sessions. It does have to complete its own constitutional formation first. So again, because Parliament's the only division of the government that was dissolved. Okay? The rest of the government is up and functioning for business. They did have a Council of Ministers cabinet session this past Tuesday. So only Parliament has to complete its own constitutional formation first. So Parliament, in order for Parliament to resume having and holding sessions, they have to have a first session convene, which is this coming Monday, December 29th. They need to do the Speaker of Parliament and their 2 secondary deputies elected. And then they all need to be sworn in. And then Parliament can resume. But again, I'm just taking you guys down common sense road. They're going international next month. Parliament has a lot of steps and tasks they have to do along with the entire government, the whole banking reform package, all of the whole trade package, everything pertaining to all the new trade systems, bringing the banking reforms forward, to Parliament start resuming their tasks of the 150 plus laws, the 26 budget, all of that needs the rate to change first. So I'm asking you, wouldn't it make sense for the rate to change right before, in close proximity to when Parliament is done, when Parliament's fully approved and sworn in, so they could resume and hit the ground running? That's all I wanted to bring to you guys. The answer is yes. It does. So again, how soon now? I told you guys, I want to cover this first. I told you guys that, and I have an article on this. I told you guys that about it would have been earlier this week, probably on a Monday or Tuesday video I did. I think it was Monday. I did a video that on public, out on YouTube, that, they said that Mark Savaya would be visiting Iraqi officials in the next phase or next stage. That phrase of in the next stage means when Iraq's international. That's when they said Mark Savaya would go meet and work with Iraqi officials. He would meet with them in the next stage, meaning when they're international. Well, does this article tell us when Savaya is going there? It says the U.S. envoy will visit Iraq early next month. These are his messages. So it looks like this article might tell us when Savaya is going there. It says right here, the U.S. Special Envoy to Iraq, Mark Savaya, is expected to arrive at the Baghdad at the beginning of next January. So beginning of next January, either during the first or second week of January, Savaya will be there. Well, that last article I showed you guys publicly in a video stated Savaya would be going there in the next stage, meaning when Iraq's international. So, again, does it make sense? Now I'm asking you, does it make sense for Iraq to change the rate right before Parliament completes itself and gets sworn in potentially this next Monday so they can hit the ground running? Okay, does it make sense? That's, again, I'm just trying to bring facts to you guys per the Constitution. We have those now. We know, again, Savaya said in the next stage earlier this week, at the beginning of this past week, when he was going there. In the next stage, meaning when they're international. Well, when is he going there? According to this article, at the beginning of next year, next month, at the beginning of next January. So during the first or second week of January, Savaya is going there. But again, he said himself he's going there in the next stage when they're international. Okay? Well, again, the Parliament can resume having and holding sessions to tackle all the outstanding crap they got to do. And they already shown us, I've shown you guys from so many different factual angles, they're going international at the very beginning of next year, January 1st. Parliament's got a lot of rate change dependency steps they have to do. Parliament needs to hit the ground running. Okay? So in order for Iraq's movements to be effective, efficient, it makes the most sense for them to change the rate before they have and hold their next session of Parliament, which would complete themselves, getting themselves sworn in next Monday. So I'll let you guys decide. is the rate changing this week. And again, I'm just bringing facts to you guys. The real facts and all that. Friends, you're the best. Take care and have a great day. Okay? And I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful weekend. And I hope the rate changes for all of us over this next weekend. Thank you for joining and have a good one. Take care.